I want to move on to the next piece of the evening that is also a very critical piece that will help answer some questions. Let me just go to that. Why are efforts of communication with others often misunderstood? You ever notice that? You try to communicate love or affection or encouragement, and it's just not received. And you're going, oh my gosh, we're doing all the right things. Why are they not getting it? What is that about? And we're going to learn how to fix that. Check this out in terms of communication, how we communicate. Here's some in the news break that's happened over the years. I've been here 20 years. Check this out. The ladies of the church have cast off clothing of every kind, and they may be seen in the fellowship hall this afternoon. Good intention, but this didn't get delivered quite right. Another one. At the beginning of the service tonight, the sermon topic will be, what is hell? Come early and listen to our choir practice. The question is there any real listening going on? Okay? You talk, while you're talking, I'm thinking about what I'm going to talk, and while I'm talking, you're going to think about what you're going to talk, and we're just talking, nobody's listening. And when we do talk, I'm not sure what you're saying. The 500 most common used words in the English language have over 14,000 meanings. Is that crazy? No wonder that verbal interaction tends to create confusion and misunderstanding. In fact, check this out. What does hot mean?
Pretty.
Pretty? Yeah. What else does it mean?
Fast.
Hot, fast, hot. Don't touch it. It's hot. How about bad?
Good.
Good. Really? That is good. Okay, that's bad. Or it could be bad. Right? So how do I know what you're saying? How about cool? What's that? Cool's hot. Okay. There you go. All right. How about rain and rain? Which is it? What are you talking about? How about, read the next word on this, the left word on the second line. What is that? What? Lead or lead? I mean, which is it? Come on. And who's right in the audience? Yeah. But when you're in a relationship communicating, guess who's right? Me. I'm right. You're wrong. Right? There's a difference. Somebody's right and somebody's wrong, and guess who's wrong? You. Read the next word. Live or live? Which is it? Come on, people, make up your mind here. Which one is it? How about the next one? Two. Which one? How about pray and pray? Some things are confusing just looking at them, right? Lead or lead, and which one is it? Sometimes when you just speak it, pray or pray, I'm not sure which one you're talking about. And then there's there, and there. And then how about the first word, last line? What is that, left one? Wind or wine? Or the second one? Bow or? And finally? Produce or? Which one is it? We don't know. All right. So the problem started a long time ago. It began over 4,000 years ago. Check this out. The Lord said, if as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing is impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other. So this is all God's design, to confuse us. Oh my gosh. Thanks a lot. But check this out. What happens next? This is in the Old Testament. Now look at this. In John, in the New Testament, it says this. This is Jesus praying. And you know, when people are at their deathbed, right, and they pray or they speak, you listen, because this is the real deal. This is what's important to them. And so they're going to share what's on their heart. There's no messing around. And here it comes. I pray also for those who will believe in me through their message, that all of them may be one. Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. So in Genesis, I want to confuse everybody so they're not one. And later on in the New Testament, we hear that I pray that they become one. So which is it? I mean, are we supposed to not get together, or are we supposed to be one? What do you think? It should be one. But then we got Genesis. So the solution is only in Christ is there the possibility for oneness. It's like, okay, you know me, you're in me, now I'm comfortable with letting you guys be one. But apart from me, you guys become one, you guys start building towers to yourselves. And so I'm going to prevent that by confusing you. But in me, I'm comfortable to let you become one. But it's not simple and it's not easy, and particularly with the English language. Here's a curious question. Have you ever wondered how it is that a healthy and terrific kid can come out of a very unhealthy and troubled home? He should have been a gangster. You know anybody about like that? You're looking at one. Okay, I should have been in prison. You know, how did this happen? Oh my gosh. And then there's the opposite question. How about the one of the troubled kid who came from a home where she had all the breaks, all the advantages in love? It just went sideways. I mean, what explains that? And we all wonder about that, and it's like a mystery that we have no control over. But I'm going to show you how to get control of this. Because there's a reason and there's a method to make sure that this doesn't happen. And it came to me when I did my dissertation many years ago. And at the time I had 3 kids, 1 on the way. Here I'm doing my dissertation, which is essentially writing a book, a very complicated book. And I thought, you know, if I'm going to do all this work, I want it to work for me. And basically a dissertation is like a research project, and the research project is basically coming up with a question and then finding the answer. And at the time, obviously I was a father of 3 and 1 on the way, and I thought, okay, well, I want this to work for me, so I'm going to ask this question, and it's the title of my dissertation. What is parental behavior and its effects on children and adolescent self-esteem across 3 different age groups? I want to know, I'm a dad, I want my kids to feel good about themselves, so what can I do in my behavior as a dad to help them feel good about themselves? And then how does that change? Does it change over time? You know, when they're little, I do this. When they're, junior high, I do this. When they're senior high, I do this. And those are kind of my age groups. And I did that with family. It took about 1.5 years to gather all the data and to get my results. And I gave all my data to a statistician who ran it through the computers, and they came up with the results, okay? And the results were not believable. I went, this cannot be true. Oh my gosh, really? No. If there's a mistake, run it again. I mean, do this again. This can't be true. And you'll see in a moment why I thought that. They did it a second time, the results were the same. I did it the third time. I said, this is impossible. How can this be? And so no, this is third time, this is it. I mean, deal with it. These are the results. And this was the results I got. Parental behavior has nothing to do with self-esteem in kids. Now, you believe that? No, I didn't. But it's true. So I want you to get this. This is important. Parental behavior has nothing to do with your kid's self-esteem. What you do doesn't matter. How about that? Is that crazy or what? But let me show you now what I did find and why it makes all the difference. It's the child's perception of your behavior that is most important. It's all about the perception. So that answers the question that you can do everything right and it still not go well because they didn't perceive it as that. You can do everything wrong and it can go well because they didn't perceive it as that. For example, we look across the street, we see a mom with her junior high kid. She's dropping him off and she hugs her kid and he's off and we go, wow, that's a great relationship. Look at that. I would say, well, I don't know. Let's ask the kid. Seems like a lucky kid, have a nice mom like that who loves him. We catch up with the kid and ask him, hey, tell me about your relationship with your mom. It looks like you guys have a really nice relationship. I hate when she does that. She hugs me in public. It drives me crazy. And it just makes me sick. I hate when she does that. And she does other stuff. Oh, okay. I mean, what's wrong with a little hug? I think we'd all agree there's nothing wrong with a hug. Well, but you got to ask the receiver of your behavior. Are they catching it that way? Because oftentimes they don't. And here's another little caveat on that. we're told to love other people the way we want to be loved, right? We all got that. Yes? But we're confused about that. Because what we think it means is that I like motorcycle riding and I like goat's eyes, and so I'm going to take you on a ride, take you to the mountains, and we'll have goat's eyes, and it's going to be a wonderful day. And you might be scared to death of motorcycles, and you don't eat goat's eyes. What are you talking about? I'm not going to eat that stuff. And I'm thinking, what? What? I'm trying to be loving to you. Because I'm loving you the way I want to be loved. But here's the thing. You know how I want to be loved? I want to be loved the way I want to be loved. But we love others the way we want to be loved, and we miss it. Now, to love other people the way I want to be loved is easy. I just check in. What do I like? Okay, you like movies? I'll take you to a movie. I mean, that's simple. But wait a minute. I need to love you the way you want to be loved? Well, dang, I got to figure out what you like, and that's a sacrifice. That's sacrificial love. That takes time. That takes energy. I got to get to know you. I got to build a relationship with you. I don't know if I got the time. So I'll just love you the way I like to be loved. You see how we miss that? And that means you need to understand, what you found loving from your parents. Like, there's some things your parents did right, and that's cool. There's some things they didn't do. And so you say, well, I really like that. I'm going to do that with my kids. Well, good luck with that. If your kid's a lot like you, it might work. But oftentimes they're not like you, and it doesn't work. And you go, dang, it worked for me. Why is it not working here? This new generation, I just don't understand them anymore. What's going on here? The culture, it's all different. It's making them crazy. But we need to figure out what's going on for them. We need to check in with them about that. Now, there was an experience. When I was young, I played soccer. That was my sport. I came from Germany. We played soccer, and so I played soccer here in the States. And I had a stepdad who would come to watch me play. He didn't know anything about soccer. He was a baseball, football guy. And back then, soccer in America was brand new. There was no major league soccer, nothing. There was nothing. And so he would come with good intentions to support me at my soccer games. And he'd be on the sidelines. And he just felt that he could really help me, and he was supporting me by coaching me. The problem with that is I already had a coach who didn't know that much about soccer either, but a little bit more than my stepdad. And so I would suddenly have two coaches on the sidelines. And I couldn't please them both. If I did what coach said, I'm in trouble with my dad, and vice versa. It just was not a happy time for me to play soccer. So my solution was I just didn't tell them when the games were. Skip it. I don't need that. Okay. So I learned, and I said, well, I'm not going to treat my son like that. So fast forward about 20 years, and now I'm on the side of the soccer field. And my son is playing. He knows soccer. He's got a dad who knows soccer, who can really help him. Oh, boy, if he just listened to me, I could really make him a star. So I'm running up and down the sidelines, and I'm doing my coaching, not remembering my past. I'm thinking I'm just bringing it, better than my stepdad did. And one time I was doing this, and I caught a rolling of the eye. You ever catch a rolling of an eye with your kid? It's like, okay, I caught that. I went, okay, something's not right here. This isn't adding up. This is not the outcome I'm looking for. So on the way home, I had a little conversation. Looked for timing, content, delivery, and motive. And I had this conversation. Hey, listen. I did it while we were in the car on the way, and I said, hey, you want to get some ice cream? Kind of built it up a little bit. And I said, hey, I know, we're playing, and, I really want to really encourage you and help you and support you and all that kind of stuff. Do you feel supported and helped and encouraged? And, tell me honestly. Not really. I was working my brains out to do that. And it wasn't happening at all. Wow. Okay. Well, what is it about that you feel that I'm not, encouraging? He says, well, I don't need another coach, Dad. Oh. That brought back memories. Like, I get that. Yeah, I'm with you. Oh, and then, but I was still at a loss. Because I was loving him the way I wanted to be loved, which is, I want to coach him. But now I ask the real key question. All right, well, here's what I want to do. I want you to feel encouraged. I want to be able to support you. I want you to feel like I'm in your corner. What can I do that would make you feel that way? He said, well, if you came to the games, I like that you come to the games, but if you're quiet, Oh, quiet? I have to be quiet? You want me to be quiet? I don't want to be quiet. And if you take me to the ice cream like we're doing now, and we can talk about the game. Oh, okay, I can do that. But then I angled, I said, can I yell for the other kids? I just won't yell for you. You know, we're looking for some ways to kind of let me talk a little bit during the game. So I didn't have to be just, quiet watching him. I didn't want to do that. And so we came up with some strategy that was his strategy for me to be encouragement to him. And the end result was, now my behavior was changed, but it was changed because it was informed by the person I'm trying to have an impact on. And suddenly, I was on with him. And he felt encouraged, and all the things I was wanting to have happen was starting to happen because I was checking in with him. So the concept I learned out of this research is this. Now, when you guys pay your bills, a lot of times now it's electronically, but some still do it the old-fashioned way, which you put a stamp on it, right? Do you do anything besides putting a stamp on it? Usually not. You put a stamp on it and you send it, right? And you figure if somebody went, they'll send you a little pink slip that says you're late, right? But what if you did something or sent something that was very, very important? What would you do then? For me, as a psychologist, I was just got my, passed my boards and all that kind of stuff. And now I'm sending in my application for my license. What do you think I did? You think I just put 2 stamps on there? No. I put stamps on there. I put certified mail. I put registered mail. I put Easter stamps. I found another stamp I put on. I mean, anything and everything to make sure it gets there. I don't want to leave it up to chance. And what does certified mail mean? What does that mean? What happens when you have certified mail? It tells you that the person received what you sent. Yes? Okay. So I coined the term that from this, and how do you guarantee that your communication was received the way you intended is you need to certify your communication. And really that's what I did with my son after the soccer game. I checked in. I'm trying to send you encouragement, love, support. Just want to be friend with you. Is that happening for you? Now I'm certifying. Now I'm checking in. Did you receive that? Are you receiving it the way I'm intending it for you to receive? And you can see how we as parents work real hard to send all the right messages, all the right positive stuff, and it goes flat. And we're dumbfounded, going like, oh my gosh, well then we're also going like, well, what else are we supposed to do? And we've done all the right stuff. And this helps answer the question. You can do all the right things and it not work. The way it works is you got to certify, you got to check in. So what you do is this. You ask the question, I want you to feel X. Fill in the blank. By me. Do you? Do you feel loved? Do you feel encouraged? Do you feel supported? Whatever it is you're trying to do, whatever your motive is, you ask your team. You ask your spouse. You ask your subordinate, your boss, your mother, your father, your cousin, your sister, your brother. You ask them. Because you guys are doing a lot of guesswork. Don't guess. Let them bring you into bullseye by asking. Because how can you guess what somebody else, what floats their boat? You can't. You don't want to assume. And when you assume and you're right, you've just got lucky. Now, we can kind of do a better job from men to men and women to women, but when it goes male, female, forget about it. I mean, forget about it. Okay? You just don't want to guess. And I see a lot of couples coming in for counseling, and they're working real hard to love each other, and it's just not going anywhere. Because nobody's checking in to see if what I'm trying to do is working. Jesus certified his communication. Did you know that? Check this out. Jesus and his disciples went to the villages around Caesarea Philippi. On the way, he asked them, "Who do people say I am?" They replied, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and still others, one of the prophets." But then Jesus asked this certifying question, "But what about you?" He asked. "Who do you say I am?" Because he's been working hard for 33 years to get this message out about himself. And I don't want to just think you've got it. I want to make sure that you've got it. I want to certify. You tell me what you think I've been trying to do here. And then Peter says, You are the Christ. And I can just imagine Jesus going, yes, awesome, that's it, you got it, exactly. And that's what we want to do with our kids. We want to certify our communication. So the communication principles, which are very universal, as I said, and we want to try to apply it here tonight to our kids. The first one is speaking the truth in love through TCDM, timing, content, delivery, and motive. And the second thing is don't rely on just trying to do the right thing. You want to certify your communication. And there's 3 ways to communicate. What are they? Words, body language, and tone. So you want to make sure all those are getting across to your kid. And the words may be right, but your tone may be off. The words and tone may be right, but your body behavior is off. And so, when you talk to a little child, what do? You get on your knees. You kind of crouch down and get on eye level, as opposed to talking to them like this, and they got to talk to you like this. It's not pleasant. It doesn't work so well. Now, let me ask you a couple questions, and we'll go to Q&A. And here's the question. Who is responsible that the message is received? The sender or the receiver? The sender. So if somebody's not getting you, whose problem is it?
Yours.
Yeah, yours. But oftentimes we make them the problem. What's the matter with you? I'm talking to you, and we just get mad at them because they're not getting it. I'm a speaker. My job is to communicate. And if you're not getting me, that's my problem. That ain't your problem. And I have to adapt my speech, my style, depending on where I speak. If I speak in New York, I start picking up my speed because they're moving over there. If I'm down south, I slow it down a little bit because they don't move that fast. It's not their culture. They're more laid back. And if you go to California, you mumble. You just kind of adapt to whatever style you're talking to. So the sender or receiver, it's the sender. So if you're communicating with your kid and they're not getting it, check with yourself. That's where the fix needs to be had. But now you know how you can fix it. Through speaking the truth in love, through the 4 elements, and then through certifying your communication. Let me end. How are we doing with time? I think we got enough time to do some communication. Let me end with this reading, and then we'll open up the Q&A and see if we can do some specific application. And this, what I'm reading, is going to be on the website. So here we go. It's your move. I gave you life, but you cannot live it. I cannot live it for you. I can teach you things, but I cannot make you learn. I can take you to church, but I cannot make you believe. I can teach you right from wrong, but I cannot always be there to decide for you. I can buy you beautiful clothes, but I cannot make you feel lovely inside. I can teach you to share, but I cannot make you unselfish. I can teach you about sex, but I cannot keep you pure. But I cannot keep you. I can tell you about the facts of life, but I can't build your reputation. I can warn you about drugs, but I cannot keep you from using them. I can teach you kindness, but I cannot force you to be gracious. I can teach you about Jesus, but I cannot make him your Savior. I can teach you to obey, but I cannot make Jesus your Lord.